Hi guys, I'm just doing a quick video give you progress on where I am on my build. I'm using my back up here, my 65-inch screen HDMI, but 1080p TV for now until I receive the Wasabi Mango. The first one came, but it came damaged, so I had to send it back. So it'll be another 10 days, I would assume. It took 5 days for business days for it to get here the first time. I had to wait 3 business days for them to pick it up, and so I'm in the waiting process for it to show up. And so I got the ASRock X99 Extreme 11 motherboard with 32 gigs for 8 sticks, gigabytes of G.Skill Ripjaw, which I don't like. It works great, but it's at 3200 hertz. But this plastic stuff is kind of flimsy, so I was kind of shocked that it was so flimsy built, but it works, so I'm not concerned too much. Of course, I'm using the Asus 1080 Turbo graphics card, but I'll probably switch this out and get me the MSI 1080 with the EK water cooling already on it. And I'm using right here, this is the Corsair AX1500. I know it's overkill, but it looks like I'm starting to use up a bunch of the little plugs. Power for the power supply. One to run this device here, which is the HDMI, which is a 2.0 USB port with the HD audio, headphones, and microphone for the front hookup. And I'm using this XS PC bay pump reservoir setup, and this water loop is half-inch. This is PEX. I'm just using this to test. I was originally going to put half-inch, but because the Alpha Cool, what I'm looking to use is 40 millimeter. These 40 millimeter fans from Noctua. This Alpha Cool radiator is so tiny, and it looks like it'll take just a 1/4 inch hookup right there, which I will have to use like one of those clamps, O-ring clamps, rather than the shark fittings, which is what I really wanted to use. This is just galvanized. I'll replace that. I was short, so I had to buy these two kind of like at a local hardware store. But there are no leaks. I'm using the Thermaltake water cooler for the CPU, and I have a 8650K processor on there. And of course, I'm using this Corsair fan thing here to hook up the fans for this temporary 4 thing. The 4 fan setup, 120 millimeter radiator. The reason I had to do this processor gets super hot to the touch within seconds. When I tested it out, it was so hot it almost burned my finger within seconds. So I immediately shut down the system and installed this water cooling just to make sure that I don't damage that. Of course, I got PCIe slots on this side. It's great. Now, this is a big learning curve for me. I have like a regular keypad and a mouse, and of course a TV, but I will be looking to upgrade this. I'm trying to find a full-size keyboard, mechanical keyboard for a laptop application, because I intend to make a really big mobile computer, which it won't really be mobile, but you know, it'll look like a giant laptop. But that's my vision. I know it might be silly to some people, but for me, I'm pleased with it, with the idea. And I'm not really building this for anybody else. I'm building it for me. This is my first build, and so far I'm running Windows 10. I had to use Windows 10. Originally I was going to use Linux Mint 18, but it was recognizing the GPU, but it wasn't the sound wasn't transferring to the TV. So and I spent days and days with the configuration, learn new things. I actually learned how to put in codes and stuff in the terminal. So all in all, I'm pleased with that setup. The GPU is going to be mounted on a ribbon on a riser. And one thing I don't like about this motherboard is that it's there are a lot of SATA ports over here, right there. There's SATA ports, and not too many USB 3.0 and 2.0. I have two over here that are already used up, and I got two 3.0 over here, right there, that I will eventually use up once the rest of the equipment gets here. I got a card, a multi-card reader thing coming in the mail. It's coming from China somewhere, and it's just time consuming waiting for some of those things, but it's giving me time to play with and learn Windows, because I've been a Mac guy for the past 25 years. I grew up on a Mac. I did everything on a Mac. I've never owned, well, I owned some Windows computers, but I never used it ever. Actually, I lied. I used it once when I was in college, and every time I reach 80 pages of work, after 2 weeks or so, it deletes all that work and just leave a few pages. It was a real weird thing. Ever since then, I've refused to use any other computer but Macs. But the reason I'm building this computer is because my MacBook Pro, I've been using it for the past 8 years. It's falling apart right now, and upgradability. Can't upgrade a Mac really, and the new stuff they have is old. Really have old technology in it. And I like the idea of playing around with this stuff. Now, I'm a consumer, so I bought all this stuff myself after watching videos and things like that. None of these things are given to me by any sponsors. Hopefully that will change, because I would like to continue building some of these from a consumer's perspective, not a tech geek perspective, and see how things work out. Here I got this the thermal paste, but I used the one that came with the with Thermaltake. I contacted Thermaltake, and the paste that came in there is rated for this particular application, so I used that, and it worked fine. So I am looking at getting one of those ergonomic keyboards, and probably set up like a small little mouse on the side, touchpad mouse, as well as a regular traditional mouse for gaming. Not that I'm a big time gamer, but I want to be able to have the tools just in case I decide to play around. I can overclock. This motherboard can overclock, has BIOS for overclocking, so I'm really pleased with that. I intend to play around with that later on once I get the system built and I'm comfortable with it. One of the things that I noticed with this setup is that the pumps, they get warm. They don't get hot, they're just warm. So hopefully I'll be able to address that. They just get warm, so I'm hoping to address that. This has distilled water in it with a little bit of soap, and so far it's been quiet. I'm very pleased overall with the progress. The wirings are hell. Some of those things, like the wiring on the Corsair, is so short. I'm gonna have to really figure out what to do. Actually, I don't have to figure out what to do, because I'm using the these 40mm fans that are already mounted to this, and they come with extensions, so I'm really pleased with that. So I think I'll probably stick with Noctua from now on going forward. So guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any comments, leave it down in the section below. If you have any suggestions, I'll certainly listen. If you have any criticisms that's constructive, please put that in the comment section below. If you're gonna hate, go ahead and hate, but I'll probably ignore those. This is my first build, and I want to continue doing it for a while as a consumer. So you guys have a good day.